If it's Christian, we're talking about it. This is the Mike Charleston Show.
All righty. Well, welcome everyone. This is the Mike Charleston Show, and as you know, I am Mike Charleston, and today we are joined with Chuck.
Hey, Mike.
Chuck is here, and so is Sarah.
Hey, guys.
So she's in the chick chair. So, man, I can't get rid of these bags. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see my bags. But anyways, what's been going on, Chuck? Chuck's kind of in and out, a couple weeks here and there.
I made 2 in a row.
That's right.
Probably not next time, though.
No, I know, right? Next week's busy week.
Yeah, we got a little gathering at the house next weekend. So,
Yes.
and having a lot of folks probably still be around on Sunday when we record. So, yeah, probably not next time, but hey.
Yeah, if you want to come join us, it's a one-day event.
Yep.
Chuck is putting a 3-day event at his house.
Yeah, we're going to try that in May, which this one's going to kind of give us a feel for that because we got some folks that are showing up Friday and not leaving until Monday. So
it might be a 3-day event.
Yeah, for some point. So we'll get a little bit. But yeah, that one will be more planned and active in May.
Right.
First weekend in May, we're going to do a 3-day.
Okay.
So
All right. Sounds good. So if you want to check that out and go to that, I guess you can email us or something like that, or just get in touch with Chuck if you know how to do that.
Yep.
So, all right. So what are we talking about today? Sarah, this is Sarah's program. She came up with this idea. She's been studying, and so we have a lot of young people.
Sarah's been studying. Good for her.
Yes, she has. But
I read through the Bible, and right now I'm going through Proverbs. And so lately, some of the things in Proverbs have just not Leviticus and Proverbs.
What is that?
But some things I'm like, wow, and I've read Proverbs many, many times. I might have read Proverbs more than anything else in the Bible, just because for so many years
I did that
with the kids.
Right.
We do the proverb of the day and talk about it, whatever. So it's very familiar, but it's been a little while. And so over the last couple days reading through Proverbs, I'm like, whoa, this is cool.
Yeah,
Anyway.
well, and so we have a lot of kids that are at that age between, I don't know, like Lydia, she's 17, and I don't know what Abigail is. She's 26. Right.
Very good.
See, there you go.
Well, it's just, she was born 2000, so that makes it easy. And so, that age range, a lot of decisions are being made, a lot of desires are out there, what I want to do with my life. And, me and Chuck, we're at that age where we don't really have a lot more plans. I mean, we do.
Maybe you should speak for yourself, Chuck. Do you got a lot of plans left?
Planning? Yeah, I'm looking for 62. That's retirement.
There you go. That's
Okay.
but I mean, you're just starting now with everything. You're just really gung-ho about everything. And, and your plans are, especially as a young person, your desire for wealth. I gotta get a job. Yeah. And maybe not to be, a millionaire or whatever, like Jeremiah talks about. But Jeremiah, our son, not the Bible. But you want to get on with your life. You want to be able to support your family. You want to be able to make money, and that becomes like a driving force for your life.
Yeah.
And which is important. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Making money is very important. But as you're reading through Proverbs, what you were noticing was getting riches and focusing on riches doesn't seem to be the way to go.
No, there seems to be something much more important, which of course is wisdom.
Wisdom is very good.
I mean,
you asked me that question last night, right?
I said, when you think of Proverbs, what's the first word that comes to
Absolutely.
mind? And
wisdom.
Everybody would say
I
wisdom.
thought it was a trick question.
Oh, you were going to get tumbled.
Yes. I was like, wisdom?
Well, okay, so when I think it's chapter 11 was one chapter I read a couple days ago, and it had a different word so much more than wisdom, and I was like, whoa, what is this about? Because I was like, I always think of Proverbs as wisdom.
Let's give Chuck a chance. Okay, this is The Price is Right, and Chuck, you are now the first contestant.
So there's another.
I have no idea.
There's another word that came up a bunch of times, and I was just like, wow, I feel like.
Are we talking about 2 words now?
No, it's another
we're still
word.
back at this thing.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
We didn't do an edit. She's just repeating herself.
Okay, wow. Anyway, so the word is righteous.
Oh, you didn't even give a guess.
Hey.
Oh,
He didn't know. He wasn't good at
not
I was
that
like,
word.
what?
So righteous or righteousness talks about that. And anyway, but it was just again and again. And I thought, wow, is this in here as much as wisdom? So I actually looked up wisdom's in there 53 times. And righteous is in there 54 times.
One more time.
Now, if you throw in wise. then
Okay,
it's going to
that's-
win.
yeah,
So,
okay,
I mean,
yeah.
obviously there's more wise and wisdom than there is righteous. But righteousness, upright, just, those are, which are the same Hebrew word.
Mm-hmm.
But that's in there a whole lot. So it kind of just caught my eye. I was just like, wow. So is it kind of like they go together, you know? Like, and
I
it
would
seemed
think
like
so.
in a lot of the passages when you're reading it, it's like, oh, okay. So it kind of, a lot of times people who walk in righteousness are because they have wisdom. So I was like, it was interesting.
Should we start my restaurant when I open my restaurant? And,
When's that supposed to happen?
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Hey, he said he's done with plans, so he'll have to be the next generation.
Man, but when I open my restaurant, I'm going to come up with proverb cookies. And then, so just you open up your cookie instead of a fortune, you're going to have a proverb of the day. Why don't you? Everyone loves proverbs. You know, it's like it's easy book to just pick up and read because it's not a story and it's not necessarily theology. I mean, there's theology in there somewhat, but it's a lot of truth. So why don't you give us some of those? Where do you want to go with this? Do you want to give us some of those passages with righteousness and wisdom?
Well, I could give you a couple because I have a bunch right here.
She's got a bunch.
It says, Proverbs 10:2 says, treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death. And I thought, well, hey, who doesn't want to be delivered from death? That sounds good.
So basically, the money isn't as important as righteousness.
True.
Now, we know that. Like, I think we all know that. Like, okay, so Chuck, if God came down to you like Solomon and said, I'll give you one thing, and I'll answer your request, whatever it is. Now, we all know the story, and the right thing to say would be wisdom.
Right. I don't know if that would have been what jumped into my mind or not. So I'll be honest there.
But would riches have jumped into your mind?
No, not really.
Oh, it would have
It would have been. I mean, it probably would have surrounded something to do with relationships.
Okay.
With family.
Like back when you were younger or now?
Even when I was younger, I think.
Okay.
I mean, early family. I mean, I don't know if I'm a teenager, if I'm thinking that way or not. But
Sure.
Yeah.
But early family, it was, that was one of those things. I actually had somebody that kind of was a mentor to me that helped me to see that. So,
that's good.
Props to him and his wife for helping us in that way to see that the importance of relationships and family are definitely more than being able to gain money and finances.
So as a young man, I mean, I knew the correct answer would have been, oh yes, wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
But in my heart, I probably would have said money, finances, because I didn't have any.
For real?
Well, maybe not. I mean, because, but I'm just saying that, and I'm glad I didn't have that option because I'll explain why. Give me a chance.
Okay.
But, as a young person, you're probably thinking, oh, money is going to solve a lot of problems.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can rest and do what I want to do.
Right.
I could do ministry. I could do, all these spiritual things and justify having lots of money. The reality is having lots of money is a huge distraction, and it's a false sense of security.
Yeah.
And so that's really why people want money, and they look at their careers. Like I mess with Jeremiah because he is 23 years old or something like that, and he's got his whole life plan, which is good. I'm not saying don't plan it, but I'm like, wow, okay, good for you. But money doesn't always give you security like you think. And what is more important in this life is security. We all want security.
That's right.
We
do, yeah.
But, as a Christian, as I've grown throughout these 30-some years or whatever, as a Christian, I'm glad I didn't get that because I don't know if I would have handled it correctly. I didn't have the wisdom to handle riches.
Right.
And so by getting...
Yeah, and like you say, Jeremiah's not looking to be rich. Just so everybody knows that. He's looking for the financial stability.
He just wants
his family.
Security.
Yep.
Like we all do.
Yep.
And but if without wisdom, and I think that's the trick, because I was saying, well, right now I think I would have the wisdom, but by saying that would show me that I don't have wisdom. So that's a conundrum.
Yeah.
Wow.
But no, wisdom is extremely important because all finances, things like that can be taken from you.
Yeah.
Righteousness and wisdom and things like that is part of your character. It's who you are. No matter what happens, you can always start over, but who are you at the heart of it? That's kind of the important
those are things that you have to be able to handle.
Yes,
whatever financial. If you do come into riches, then to be able to handle it, you got to have the wisdom. You got to have the righteousness, the background, the understanding of how to handle those, because otherwise they can be detrimental.
Absolutely, as we've seen, in our society, there's a lot of stories out there. People won the lottery and they end up poor.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how to handle it, and they don't have the wisdom.
You look at what, probably 60, 70%, maybe higher of any of your professional sports players.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
They get all the money up front early and then end up
and even if they don't go broke, but all the broken relationships, the things that have caused because of that, the things you don't foresee, relationship issues, and just things like that. So anyway.
Okay, well, I have another verse. This is Proverbs 11:28 says, "He that trusteth in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch." And I think people would say, well, but that's trusting in riches. That's not having riches. And it is true. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having riches.
No, but wanting security is kind of trusting in your riches.
Yeah, I think it goes to the idea of what Paul said, I know how to abase and abound. Right. Be able to live in any situation, regardless of whether the riches are there or not.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And just if you're honest with yourself, let's be serious. I don't make a lot of money, and I don't have a lot of money to as security. But I'd like to think I'm a little bit secure. But I'll be honest with you, if all that was taken away, I'd be a little nervous. And so, do I trust in my riches a little bit? Yes, of course I do. I think we all do in some way. It's because we have it. But once you lose it, it's like, well, what are you going to do now? Who are you? Are you going to try to fix the problem or whatever? But yeah, I would like to think that I don't, but I think I'm human, and I trust in my riches a little bit. And I don't even have that many riches, but anyway.
Okay, then Proverbs 15:6 says, "In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but in the revenues of the wicked is trouble."
Oh, that's what we were just talking about.
Wow. Anyway, so I don't know. I just think that also thinking about in America, we trust in our riches. We find security in okay, I have this much money, but I think that's very narrow-minded because here, our economy, we know there's inflation, we know things are going to cost more, and we know all of that, but it's all so I don't know. I would say steady, but it's not. It can change, but I don't know. I feel like if you lived in other cultures, maybe they don't trust in their riches quite as much because we just trust that, if I work this job and I, make six figures and then I get to this point and I have this much money or whatever. We could actually
plan our life out a lot better.
We think we've got it covered. Yeah. And I'm like, well, who's to say that the dollar in 10 years even exists? Right. Who's to say that that means anything to anybody? Right. Just because, here in America, it's like the dollar means something today, but I'm like, we don't know what it'll mean in 10 years. Right. So I feel like it's a very faulty thing to put your trust in.
Right, and that's a good point because if you, I don't know, have y'all traveled outside of the U.S.?
Yeah.
Okay,
I got my Montreal trip.
Montreal, obviously Canada.
It's for my future son-in-law. He's from Canada.
Yeah, but you go to some countries that are much less developed.
Right.
And I haven't done much of this, but I did have one time where I went to Panama with when I was in the National Guard, and being able to see a different society.
They're not as stable.
They're not as stable, but they don't know what they don't have.
Oh,
and they're happy.
Yeah.
Right.
So just your circumstances in the society in which you live drives a lot of what you actually think you need to be able to be in that society. And, these folks that didn't actually have brick and mortar walls were perfectly happy with what they had.
Yep. I mean, it's inevitable. We live in our culture. We're surrounded by whatever. We've been looking for places to live for my daughter and her future husband. And it's like, there are very cheap ways of doing it if you want to.
Yeah.
But people don't want to do that. These tiny homes or living in a camper or, there are cheaper ways to live.
Yeah.
But we get so used to a way of living, a standard of living that we're like, I don't think so. Oh man, that would have been perfect. But yeah.
But you missed it.
I don't think so, Tim.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Delayed, but hey, we got it.
And I even was talking, and I knew what I was going to say.
Okay, well, Proverbs 3 says, "Happy is the man," speaking of happiness.
Yes,
happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things thou canst desire are not to be compared unto her. Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is every one that retaineth her. So I feel like, if you're in any stage of life, but definitely as a young person, it's like the thing to look for isn't riches and security and all the, those things can be fine, but that's not really what's going to bring you fulfillment and satisfaction in life. It's going to be wisdom. So.
Wisdom. In fact, you were saying just last night or whatever, the other day, you were saying that if you were asked a question, you may ask for understanding.
Yeah. And, wisdom's good, and knowing the story, I'm like, okay, well, I'll go with that one. But I feel like I would really want either knowledge or understanding, but I feel like knowledge, I know how to get knowledge, but sometimes I know things, but to actually be able to understand a lot, I'm like, I feel like I would really like that.
Which is very closely related to wisdom.
Yeah.
Wisdom and understanding are kind of one and the same, but they're subtly different, but they're vitally important for both.
Yeah, and just from a practical standpoint, let's take, and I don't think that one had righteousness in it, right? That was just wisdom and understanding.
Yeah.
So it's just from a practical standpoint, if you have wisdom and understanding, then you will be able to figure out how to get the things that you need. It doesn't matter the circumstances. You'll figure out, all right, here's what I'm presented with, and you'll be able to actually overcome whatever obstacles there are and still be able to provide.
Yeah.
So the wisdom and understanding gives you the ability to be able to generate wealth in some form or fashion to provide.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then I have Proverbs 23:5. I always like this one. It says, "Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle toward heaven." So
it's like Red Bull.
What?
They got wings.
Okay. I'm like, what?
She's like, what? She doesn't know. It's okay.
No, I don't. But riches, if you're just pursuing riches, it does have a way of like
having wings.
Where to go.
That's right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a commercial. It's Red Bull.
Red Bull has wings.
That's right.
Okay. Wow.
Anyway. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Proverbs 16:8 says, "Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues without right."
Well, that's right. I mean, who's going to argue with that?
Well, I guess you're not.
Well, no, but I'm just like, especially as a believer, and it doesn't matter if you're poor or wealthy.
Yeah.
If you're righteous and you have good character and you treat people the right way, and you're still poor at the end of the day, better for you. Than if you're rich and you're a jerk and you've cheated people and you've stolen and all that. It's not the. What I was going to say though is just like you're reading these passages so far, and people are like, okay, man, this might be a boring episode and all that, but I'm like, I think we might underestimate wisdom. And if you're the one that's like already turned off, or whatever, you've underestimated wisdom and how important wisdom and understanding is, and knowledge and righteousness, because they're all tied together. It's very, very important.
Yeah.
And I know we're just picking on riches, and I know that's not the only thing that people seek after.
Well, I mean, if we stop and try to analyze what does riches bring? You think riches are going to bring what? Stability, fame, happiness, joy. You're going to give you things that you want. Well, the reality is, if you don't have wisdom, in order to be able to do it, are you really going to be joyful? Mm-hmm. Are you really going to be in a state of happiness? I mean
for a while, maybe
temporary. Right. You could have, but like you say, the riches can fade away and they're gone. Then are you still, Right.
Read Ecclesiastes. It shows you that it turns out to be empty in the end.
That's right. So having wisdom, having understanding gives you the peace and the joy that you're looking for, regardless of the circumstances around you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Then Proverbs 16:16, this sounds like another one I read, but it says, "How much better is it to get wisdom than gold, and to get understanding rather to be chosen than silver?" Right. So, and if you read through Proverbs, it does repeat. Seems like a lot of times you'll have the same thing, which, to be fair, in all of this, there are a lot of Proverbs that talk about hard work and diligence. And so there is something to be said for, working hard and making money. And,
we're not suggesting like it's an either or situation.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But it does seem like the focus, especially for young people, can get distracted sometimes and like just focus on building up wealth and money and searching for fame and fortune and popularity. Hopefully not anybody listening to this show, but but that can creep in. If I just start my YouTube channel, people will see me. Yeah. Trust me, that's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. Look at this show. And plus, you don't want fame. Look at the famous people; their lives usually end up in ruin, and they don't have any peace. And so, like the Bible it knows these things, and these are from smart people, Solomon and others, and it's more important. Oh, I'm not getting worked up here. I just had something in my throat, but I'm worked up. It's more important to get wisdom. Because it's so much better to have the knowledge and wisdom and understanding of these things than to have wealth, because it just goes. It goes. And I know it sounds like we're repeating because the Bible is repeating, but yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to go away from Proverbs.
Oh, yes. Let's go. Oh, wow.
To James.
No, not James. Oh, okay.
James 1:5. No, not Leviticus.
Can we do Leviticus once?
Because if you want wisdom, James talks about what to do. It says, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. Right. So if you realize, okay, I should want wisdom, and so what do I do? You ask God for it.
How do I get it?
Yeah.
Think Solomon read that?
Well, because people are like, okay, well, how do I get it? Well, one, I know in Proverbs, I think it talks about surrounding yourselves with a counsel.
Wise counsel.
Right, wise counsel, which would be good. Because if you're not wise, at least surround yourself with wise people, which is a wise thing to do. Yeah. So then maybe you are wise. But then like in James, it just spells it out.
Ask for it.
Ask God.
Yeah.
God gives liberally. Like he is willing to give you wisdom if you ask him for it.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
And then I have one more verse, which is back to Proverbs. Proverbs 9:10 says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Ooh,
and the
we should have started with that one.
Oh, I'm sorry. And the knowledge of the holy is understanding. So that's really where it starts with, is fearing God.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you want wisdom, then fear God. Yeah. And walk in righteousness.
I mean, you would think that that's the obvious one, because everything starts with, I fear the Lord, and not in a scared type of way, but if you're not a believer, maybe you should be, because he is an awesome being. He is the creator of all, and he's not someone to take lightly.
Right.
And so, to understand that and who we are, that's the beginning. Let's just realize that we're not the smartest, we're not the brightest, we're not the most wise. Yeah. God is. Yeah. That's where we start, and realize I can't do this in and of myself. I need help, and there are certain circumstances that you may be in or we're in that we need help from, not just from the people around us. We need divine help, and something that's not from us. And then it's just like, there are certain times where I come up with something, and it doesn't happen a lot. And I know that didn't come from me. Like, it was, I'm not that smart. But it was just God-given. And it's good to have, because it's like I could sit here and think all day, and it just didn't happen. Now, usually I'm not actively seeking for it. It's like I'll be praying for wisdom or whatever in a certain circumstance, and then I'll just go on and then I'll see something, and I'm like, oh my, how simple, and would I have been looking for that if I wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I like that it says, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding, because that's what I said I wanted.
Yeah. You wanted understanding.
I want more understanding. So I'm like, so the more I know God, the more that understanding
Which I think you have
increases.
a lot of understanding, and you disagreed with, but...
I mean, I have some, but I feel like there's so much more.
Sure.
I just kind of understand a little bit, but I feel like I don't completely grasp. So anyway, but I guess the more I know him and fear him, the more wisdom I'll have and more understanding. So it's all good.
That's why you should talk to some of your elders. People who have been in the faith for many years. They may not be up with the newest trends, or they may not be able to speak and be cool and all that, but they've been in the faith for a while, and hopefully have been faithful and have some extra wisdom.
Yeah, and regardless of the trends, or regardless of what it is, the timeless wisdom that they have is going to be appropriate for any time, for anything that you're dealing with, because they've been able to. I mean, there is wisdom from above that God can impart to us just by seeking Him, but there's also the experiential. And folks who've lived and understand it, they've been here, they understand it because they had to go through it.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Well, with that, I guess we will end with that, and we'll go to the next segment.
How well do you know your Bible?
All right, how well do we might just call this "How well do you know your Bible?" because it fits. Mm-hmm. And I was asking Elisabeth right before I hit the button. I'm like, "What are we doing?" Because does this fit? And she said it's either what?
It's a Chinese proverb or a proverb of Solomon.
So that fits real well with the other segments. So we're either going to have a fortune cookie or a proverb cookie.
Yes, and so I know if she did her homework very well, these could be very difficult because we do this when we go to a Chinese restaurant. We're like, oh, this sounds like it could be a proverb. Yeah. And I know people have done this with like AI, where they'll make it sound like it, and you're just like, oh, this is embarrassing if I get it wrong. So here it goes. Let's go.
Okay, well, I'll just have to say a disclaimer first.
Okay, disclaimer.
I used a different Bible version.
Okay.
Just to make it a little harder because...
Oh, just to increase the difficulty level.
What kind of Bible? Are we talking like New Living, like something like the Message Bible?
I think it was the New Living Translation.
Ooh, okay. This could be really close. All right, we are ready. Let's go.
All right. A day's planning is done at dawn.
A day's planning is done at dawn. Okay, if it's in the New Living, that does not sound like Bible, at least in what the Bible I read.
It doesn't really sound like a Chinese proverb either, though.
It's a good point.
It sounds too simple.
A day's planning is done at dawn.
I know my wife definitely is one that believes in that.
Yes.
It's just like,
okay, I'm going to say Bible. I'm going to say Bible.
Hey, I'm going to go Bible.
Okay, we're going to go Bible.
It's a proverb, Chinese proverb.
Hey! Okay, wrong Chinese proverb. Ooh, I should have known it. Okay.
All right.
What was that wisdom?
All right. Ears to listen, eyes to see. The Eternal designed them both.
Okay, that sounds way too poetic. Eyes to see, ears to hear, eyes to see.
Ears to listen, eyes to see.
I'm going to say definitely a Chinese proverb.
Yeah, I think so.
You think so too?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well...
No?
It's the Bible.
Oh, my goodness.
But I had to change it because one version said the Lord made them both. And I'm like, I can't have the Lord in there because...
Well, come on.
Because then that gives it away.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
All right.
So what did you say instead? The Creator?
The Eternal.
The Eternal.
Because that was another Bible version.
Okay.
All right. If you insult your father or mother, your light will be snuffed out in total darkness.
Ooh. That sounds like usually a Chinese proverb, like a fortune cookie, isn't so negative.
That's pretty blunt.
It is.
Yeah.
So I think it's, but that's just late. The new Chinese, the new fortune cookies now, dude. Those are just encouragement.
These are whole cookies.
Right. I'm going to say that's a Bible.
I'm going to agree with Mike.
I'm not going to hit any button because I don't know.
It's the Bible.
Okay, it's the Bible. Yes. All right.
All right. If small holes aren't fixed, then big ones will bring hardship.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is definitely a biblical concept. I know what this is, but it could definitely be.
That's one of the early things I learned from my father-in-law.
Okay. Why? You
take care of the little things. The little things things take care of them. Our big things don't happen. Yeah.
Okay, but it is if they build it, they will come type situation.
Yeah.
Is it in the Bible?
I'm gonna go Chinese proverb on that.
You're gonna go Chinese proverb?
Yeah.
Oh, Chuck's going Chinese proverb. I thought it was in the Bible. Let's go.
All right, it's a Chinese proverb.
Oh, it's a Chinese proverb. Chuck got it right. Somewhere in the Bible it says something about that.
All right. While their hatred may be concealed by trickery, their wrongdoing will be exposed in public.
Now that sounds
biblical.
Yes, very biblical.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what verse it is, but you would say biblical.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. It sounds biblical.
All right. A person leaves a reputation as a swallow leaves its call.
Repeat
that?
A person leaves a reputation as a swallow leaves its call.
A swallow leaves its call? Mm-hmm. Ooh, it sounds like a Chinese proverb because I don't remember a swallow being in the Bible, but maybe there is a swallow in the Bible.
Leaves.
Of course, this is going to be the New Living.
I can't think of any proverb. I can't think of a proverb.
Yeah, we're going with Chinese.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
All right. A great man is hard on himself. A small man is hard on others.
I mean, that's true. Oh boy, this does sound so much like a Chinese proverb, but there's something in the Bible about that too, right? I'm going to go with Chinese
That
proverb.
sounds like something Solomon could have said.
He could have in a different version.
Yeah.
And but I'm going to go with Chinese proverb.
I'm going to go Bible.
Okay.
It's Chinese proverb.
Oh,
There you
yeah. Chinese proverb.
All right.
Confucius say, what?
It actually was Confucius.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
A loud and cheerful greeting early in the morning.
I know this one.
Taken
Yeah,
as a
definitely.
curse.
Yes. Yeah, that's Bible, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's Bible. Yes.
Yeah.
Any version, I know that one.
All right, last one. A virtuous man concentrates on his own work, not that of others.
Oh, that's going to be tough to be a manager then. The virtuous man. So, sounds like Bible talk. I don't know if in Chinese proverbs they would say virtuous, but maybe they would.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I think I'd have to go Chinese proverb.
Chinese proverb? I'm going Bible.
It's Chinese proverb.
It's Chinese proverb. All right. Yes. Was that the last one?
was the last
That was
one.
the last
Yeah.
one. All right. Well,
that's
there you
over.
go. Now I could go back to my restaurant and open up my proverb cookies, and no one would know,
That's
evidently,
right. No one
because
knows.
it would be kind of a cool thing to put in there just to see. But shame on us.
You
We-
gotta use
we-
the Mike Living translation.
That's right. Or do what Elisabeth did and just change out some words when it's convenient. And,
Sure, yeah.
So, anyways. All right. Well, thank you, Elisabeth.
Music with Sarah.
What song do you like?
All right, babe. This is the song of the week. And
Song of the week.
The song of the week. And does this have to do with wisdom?
No.
Oh, okay. Just,
I mean, yeah, no, I don't think
so this
of a
is
connection.
called Reign Above It All. And I don't know who originally wrote it. Aaron Williams, something like that.
I don't actually know who originally wrote it,
But
but
this
I
version
listened to
is
the
by-
version by the Worship Initiative with
Right.
Aaron Williams. And that's the one I've always heard. There may be others out there. I don't know. In this world, a lot of people do a lot of versions of a lot of songs.
Right.
So anyway, but this song, I don't know. I've known it for several years.
Right.
I don't know when it exactly came out first.
4 years ago.
4 years ago?
That's what it says here.
Okay, well, whatever. But
At least a video.
I love the idea of this song with basically it has it says you reign above it all.
Right.
That's why it's called that.
Shocking.
But it says over the universe and
Yep.
over every heart. And so it's like, yes, he's reigning over everything. And, you know, in our minds, like sometimes I try to think of like, wow, like he knows every person individually, but then he knows us all as a whole. Like, how does that work? Like, how does, you know, when I'm at the grocery store and I see somebody, I'm like, he cares for them and their needs and the
Sure.
things they're asking about and whatever, and they're struggling with. And he cares for me. It's like, well, are you giving me time or them time? Like, how do you give equal time, you know? Because we
'Cause
just
he's
can't.
eternal. He's,
we just can't fathom, you know, that it's like he's got it. Like he's God. We just can't understand
Right.
just how big that is. How, you know. But I just feel like it's such a neat concept to think that he's reigning over everything, you know, all of creation, all of people, all of time, and yet, you know, he reigns in my heart if I welcome him in,
Right.
you know, and he's king of my life, what it says, you know, it's like he, the reign of darkness now is ended in the kingdom of light, darkness and light, you know, and then
Yeah.
it's like, and because he takes dominion now and he
Right.
reigns in my life, you know, and there are many out there that has reign in your heart too, you know, and that's obviously the goal. But anyway, so I just find it just a really neat thought to think of that. And even, you know, I think right now, especially like for the last, I don't know, month or so, like I've listened to a lot of people talk about like what's going on in Iran and end times and different things. And, you know, you think of end times compared to, you know, on the timeline that we have from the beginning, wherever your beginning starts.
Right.
But of recorded history, you know, we've got thousands of years, and, you know, to even look at Israel and see like, wow, all these things that have been prophesied thousands of years ago and these things all culminating. It's like so many people throughout history would have wanted to live today when it's like, wow, like boom, 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 these things are happening. And it's just like, yes, and God is outside of it all, and yet he reigns over it all. And he's got this master plan, and we get to be here for just this tiny little, you know, fleeting moments
I
of
mean,
it
we
and be
are
a
caught
part.
up in the moment so
Yeah.
much, you know,
Yeah.
in our little time. But even in eternity, we always say, "Oh, it's just a blink," like, "Oh, it's such a small time."
Yeah.
But even in the age of humans, like
Right.
me being able to live 100 years is a blip, on what's going on in all of eternity and all of time here on earth. It's still a small thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then when it's one of those where it has like a chorus, but then the next chorus it adds even more. One of those kind of songs.
Okay.
But anyway, on the second
is it a
chorus,
pre-chorus and then a chorus and then a bridge chorus?
No, it's just a chorus.
Okay.
But the other whatever, it's just the second chorus has more. But it says, "Let all of heaven and the earth erupt in song." So of course I'm going to love it.
Sure.
"Sing hallelujah to the everlasting one. There is no higher name. Jesus, you reign above it all." And of course, that's what I long for in heaven, is to sing with everybody.
Sure.
And it's like, here it is, heaven and earth, everybody erupting in song to sing hallelujah to the everlasting one, the one who had no beginning, the one who has no end, the one who's outside of all of this and reigns above it all. So anyway, I think it's a great song.
It's a good song. Yeah, there's no doubt.
Check it out.
Yeah, I know this one.
You know this one.
I do know this one. I've seen this one, heard this one before, but this one is specifically from the Worship Initiative, which is Shane and Shane's channel, but this is not Shane and Shane. This is Aaron Williams. And some other people.
Yeah.
But I think they do a pretty good job. I know Bethel does it and all that. I'm not saying that their versions are bad or anything like that, but this is a good version.
Yeah.
So you can go check it out on YouTube. Of course, we checked out a different version of a song from the 70s that we had never heard of before. So maybe it's good to check out other versions.
Yeah.
And it was a Keith Green song, and it was the intro was way different than we have ever heard, and we've heard this song many times.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well, and different people like different versions. Sometimes some version that I might be like, "Oh, I love this." Somebody else listens to a different one and they're like, "Oh, I love this one," So hey, it's good to explore. I don't know. I think music is just such a way that can encourage and inspire, and does great things for us. So anyway, so here's another one to go check out.
Yeah, go check it out. It's Reign Above It All, the Worship Initiative, featuring Aaron Williams or Bethel, but you can find it on YouTube, Spotify, whatever you.
Yeah.
You've got mail.
Music with
You ready?
Yep.
Music with Sarah.
What song do you like?
All right, babe. This is the song of the week. And
Song of the week.
The song of the week. And does this have to do with wisdom?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, no, I don't think
So this
of a
is
connection.
called Reign Above It All, and I don't know who originally wrote it. Aaron Williams, something like that.
I don't actually know who originally wrote it,
But
but
this
I
version
listened to
is
the
by-
version by the Worship Initiative with
Right.
Aaron Williams. And that's the one I've always heard. There may be others out there. I don't know. In this world, a lot of people do a lot of versions of a lot of songs.
Right.
So anyway, but this song, I don't know. I've known it for several years.
Right.
I don't know when it exactly came out first.
4 years ago.
4 years ago?
That's what it says here.
Okay, well, whatever. But
At least a video.
I love the idea of this song with basically it has it says you reign above it all.
Right.
That's why it's called that.
Shocking.
But it says over the universe and
Yep.
over every heart. And so it's like, yes, he's reigning over everything. And, and our minds, like sometimes I try to think of like, wow, like he knows every person individually, but then he knows us all as a whole. Like, how does that work? Like, how does, when I'm at the grocery store and I see somebody, I'm like, he cares for them and their needs and the
Sure.
things they're asking about and whatever, and they're struggling with. And he cares for me. It's like, well, are you giving me time or them time? Like, how do you give equal time, because we just
Because he's
can't.
eternal.
We just
He's
can't fathom, that it's like he's got it. Like he's God. We just can't understand
Right.
just how big that is. But I just feel like it's such a neat concept to think that he's reigning over everything. All of creation, all of people, all of time, and yet he reigns in my heart if I welcome him in.
Right.
And he's king of my life, what it says, it's like the reign of darkness now is ended in the kingdom of light, darkness and light, and then
Yeah.
it's like, and because he takes dominion now and he
Right.
reigns in my life, and there are many out there that has reign in your heart too, and that's obviously the goal. But anyway, so I just find it just a really neat thought to think of that. And even, I think right now, especially like for the last, month or so, like I've listened to a lot of people talk about like what's going on in Iran and end times and different things. And, you think of end times compared to, on the timeline that we have from the beginning, wherever your beginning starts.
Right.
But of recorded history, we've got thousands of years. And, to even look at Israel and see like, wow, all these things that have been prophesied thousands of years ago and these things all culminating. It's like so many people throughout history would have wanted to live today when it's like, wow, like boom, 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 these things are happening. And it's just like, yes, and God is outside of it all, and yet he reigns over it all. And he's got this master plan, and we get to be here for just this tiny little, fleeting moments of it.
We are caught up in the moment so much, in our little time. But even in eternity, we always say, "Oh, it's just a blink," like, "Oh, it's such a small time."
Yeah.
But even in the age of humans, like me being able to live 100 years is a blip, on what's going on in all of eternity and all of time here on earth. It's still a small thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then when it's one of those where it has like a chorus, but then the next chorus it adds even more. One of those kind of songs.
Okay.
But anyway, on the second
is it a
chorus.
pre-chorus?